The Joe Rogan Experience.
They're regulating podcasts in Canada.
Oh yeah, and I was reading about this bill, because I woke up and we're jet lagged, so I woke up at a ridiculous time. I went on the phone, which you should never do. Let's be honest, that is a bad way to start the day.
It's not good.
No. And then I was reading about what they're doing. It's terrifying. So they want to bring in this bill whereby they regulate podcasts. So what they want to do is every podcast streamer or whatever it is platform that makes more than $10 million revenue, not profit, revenue, has to register with the Canadian government. They then want them to hand over information about their content and the people listening to their
oh my God.
to the government.
Imagine
Trudeau.
getting a hold of Alex Jones's email list.
It's probably a bunch of senators on there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, imagine.
Yeah.
And then
the government can get that.
they're talking right now about, and maybe we're going to need to fact check this again because I was reading it this morning, but basically they want it to promote Canadian. Something to do with basically what Canadian greatness, whatever it is, they talk about it, and Indigenous affairs. And you're like, oh, so they're going to say a number of things are un-Canadian, and then you can just silence them. Look what Trudeau did with the truckers.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
We just had one of their guys on to talk about it.
Not just the truckers, but people who donated to the truckers got their bank accounts closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is wild.
Yeah.
You got locked out of all of your money because you donated to a cause where you didn't think that people should have to take an experimental vaccine in order to be able to work to drive a truck.
But
really?
Yeah.
Really? You think that's okay? Like, that's so not okay. The fact that those people aren't up in arms. The whole country didn't freak out and demand a fucking change. Like, you can't have, that's dictatorship stuff. That's what that is. It's Banana Republic stuff.
We do these calls with our top supporters, and we have some in Canada. We have this lady who's been supporting us for years, and she's always fine. And in the middle of this thing, she was like, "I'm terrified. I'm not going to be able to eat because they're going to shut down my bank account."
God.
Right? In Canada.
It's so crazy that they think they could do that if people disagree with them. Because that's all they're doing. They're just disagreeing. And they're supporting a protest. It should be, and it was a peaceful protest. Those people did it the right way. They just parked their trucks and they didn't block roads off. They didn't do anything fucked up.
But if you frame it that these people, which is how they were being framed as racist far right, well, look, you're giving money to a far right racist organization. You're encouraging hate. Well, the government has to step in. We have to step in, and we need to freeze everything because we need to make everything safe.
What was this most recent apology because they accidentally awarded a Nazi?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
I think Zelensky was visiting the Canadian Parliament, and they got some guy who was a Ukrainian, inverted commas, war veteran. Turned out he fought for the bad guys in that one.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't think like Zelensky or I don't know.
He didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't know. But so imagine you're sitting in Parliament and everyone's like, "Hey, let's stand up and give a round of applause for this war veteran." You're like, and then it turns out you're applauding a Nazi.
How old is this dude?
Old. Like,
he probably doesn't even know. I'm not a good guy. I'm not a fucking good guy. Maybe he's like tricked himself that he wasn't a Nazi. Yeah. Imagine.